Hi guys, Minerva here. Today is Monday, August 13th, and I'm working on my Christmas album. I went ahead and attached some papers on it. Excuse me, but I have a couple that I haven't done yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hope you guys had a nice weekend. It's been very hot and humid here. Okay, so what I do is I measure the page, right? Excuse me, and I write it down on the paper. This one is 5/1/4 minus an eighth. But sometimes I also I found this piece of paper and it seems to be lengthwise perfect. So I just go ahead and place it where I want it, leaving the space that I want, about 1/8 of an inch. And I made a little mark there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. I went ahead and did some of the paper. I think it was last night. Well, it was all early this morning, and it's a slow process. And I tend to be slow myself, so I think I was at it about 3 or 4 hours, and I don't want to bore anyone with, repetitive process of cutting and gluing paper. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen the process also. What you're doing is you're matting. Sometimes over this basic matting you might also add another mat, but I'm just putting on the basic matting to cover the pages. So that looks good. And I'm using art glitter glue. You can use glue. This glue dries quickly, so it won't mess up your paper. Paper doesn't have time to soak it in. And you can also use score tape. I think you can use tacky glue. But so far I like glitter glue the best. So I'm making sure I have the same space all around and that it's straight. That's another good thing about using the glue, because it gives you time to wiggle and, place the paper. So that's that. That's the inside cover. Make sure you varnish it well. I sometimes use my bone folder. Must be under this cutter here. I tell you, I'm running out of space. It's under these papers because I've been using it. So here it is. So I've been using the 12x12. I've used several of the 6x6. And see, this isn't straight. Let me see if I still have time. See how it's already gluing? It's not straight. And it's already grabbing onto the paper. So I'm going to have to apply more glue. It seems to be all right here. I'm just going to let it be. Apply more glue. This had already grabbed onto the page. sure I get this little corner here. I don't know if I should zoom in. Let me see. Okay. I guess that's cool. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to leave this for last. And I have this gatefold here. I've already have the measurements. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it first. So I need 2 4 1/4 by 1/8. But you have to think, like, this is going to fold over this one, right? So it should coordinate, you know. Let me see how much. Like I use red here, green, and okay, let me see if I have something I can use here. It's my ruler. I was looking for the bone folder. And I need a 3.5 plus 1/8. This one would work. It's got 3 3/4. So, but this is the same one here, huh? And these are cards that are facing that way, so I can't use that. Three and a half plus 1/8. This one is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cut the upper strip to see how much I have. This would look nice on the bottom one. So, okay, that's why you take, I kind of take a, you know, it takes a while unless you pre-planned and pre-cut. But if you're decorating as you go, you have to make some, you know, it has to make some decisions, the paper coordinates, and that kind of stuff. 3.5 was 1/8. And I want to cut it from this part here. It's 3.5 plus 1/8. And there's one problem here. I'm not going to be able to use the letters. See, there's something funny about this. I have 3.5 plus 1/8 here. But it should be, let's see, 3.5. Why is there so much space? Oh, well, I guess it's okay. So once I have it, well, I'll just go ahead and cut 8 1/4. 8 1/4. I didn't want to cut into this side here. Let me look out. See how it looks cutting it the other way. I'm cutting the bird out, so you have to decide between the bird and the... That's the kind of stuff that you have to... Okay, so you can put it this way. And you see this? You could use this side on the inside flap here. If it's wide enough, I need a 4 1/4. So let me just go ahead and glue this here. Okay. Remember, you're going to be adding some stuff. A little higher. To the left, to the right. I hope power doesn't go out. I mean, all morning it's been going in and out. Power. It's not raining. I don't know what's going on. That looks good. That's that. We have a pocket here. I mean, here is a pocket. And here's that flip. It's going to open this way, and it's got a little border there. So, now I want one here that coordinates with this. It would be great but this one doesn't have 4. You need it to be 4 1/4 plus 1/8. And nope, this one is short. First, you go through your cuttings so that you don't waste so much paper. And then you realize you don't have enough. So you see this here? I'm going to use this paper. The same paper as this over here. So that's 4 1/4 plus 1/8. Oh, come on. 4 1/4 plus 1/8. Make sure it's straight. I don't know if there's anyone that hasn't used one of these paper cutters. If you're new to scrapbooking, there probably is people that are new. Probably are people. See this here, this edge here? You have to press the paper towards that edge so that it's straight. That way your cut will be straight. That's what I'm trying to get. Let's see what I want to cut off. I either have the yellow part up there, or I need to cut this edge. I could have it like this. I really like that. Yep. So I want this, so I'm going to put it this way. The part of the paper that I want to the left, because I'm going to cut off. I'm going to bring it down to 8 1/4. And if I cut it there, I won't have the roses. So I need to turn it around. I said it wrong. The part that I want is going to go to the right. 8 1/4. Here I have 8 1/4, and I'm going to cut this off. This part off. So now I have the part that I want. The flowers on the top. Make sure it looks good. Sometimes the base paper can be off. And that's what's happening with this paper. The page, the base page. So yeah. There. And I already have a magnet here. And I need to cut 2 of these. And I'm always doing that. I'm putting the I'm covering the measurement. This 1/8. Because I need 2 the exact same size. One is going, you know, on the top of the flip, and the other one is going inside. So I'm centering here and up here. And it's straight here. It's got the same. So that's that. But when I close this, see? It kind of flows, the colors, you know. They coordinate. So now we're going to go inside. And the same thing happens here. You can have these flaps the same. And let's see what paper I haven't used in the beginning of the book. I have to use one that I've used back here. Maybe some red here. Red or green. I have 2 different kinds of red. I'm going to use the light one. It's 131. I think I'm going to stop at 2. Because I already know that the length is 8 1/4. So 8 1/4. And the width is, I was looking for that cap. The width is 5 1/4. Let me show you. I already turned this. Oh. Okay. 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. My pen. again, check that it doesn't interfere with the score page. It looks good, and get it as straight as I can. I have a hard time deciding. These pages, unlike my journals, my junk journals and that, I'm not using ink for the borders. You could if you wanted for the edges, but I'm not using any ink. You know, you don't have to. Okay. Burnage. That helps the glue spread out. It seemed like the corners didn't have enough glue, but when I did that, the glue spread and I took the corners. A little bit here. Really not. Okay. And that's that. So now I need this measures 3 3/4 plus an 8. And I'm gonna leave 1/8 there and another 8. I need 3 1/2 plus an 1/8. 3 1/2. This one seems perfect. That's 3 1/2 and an 1/8. An 1/8 would be the small line. And it's 8 1/4 long. It's 8 1/4. Now I'm gonna lay this down here in case I don't, in case I don't find what I want on the other side. I don't know about these. These can go sideways, but I don't know. I'm gonna use these for cards. So I have this. You can use it like that, or you can use the Santa. And I think I want this for the cover. I might use this for the cover. I'm not sure. So we're gonna let this be for now. Okay. See what I mean? Let's see. Oh, I haven't used this one. These are meant like for photo maps or to adding things to it. So I like to use, you know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the same one as here. That's what I said I was gonna do, right? In the beginning. That's 4 1/4 plus 1/8 wide. 4 1/4. Let's do the 8. 8 1/4. And 4 1/4. Come on. 4 1/4. Did I say plus 1/8? I have to write it because I forget. 4 1/4. Okay. Okay. I'll be making a waterfall. I might make one here. Or you can leave these center pages for pictures. Or spread, a little spread. So I'll decide that later. A little bit up. That looks okay. You see, that's why I went ahead and made the other pages, because, you know, can you imagine? You get the grift, you measure, and you cut 1/4 less than the measurement, so that way you'll have 1/8 of an inch of space between the mat and the page. And this right here is very, very weak. I'm not too happy with this border here. The thing is, if you want to use your cuts, your dies, and make nice borders, you have to do that before you attach the pages. I didn't think about it. I'm folding it so that I can see the score line. And it looks straight. So that's that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to leave that other page that I need to cover. Here's that, the magnet is right there. So see how nice that looks? Coordinates when you open the gatefold. Nice. And then you close it, and this coordinates with this. So that's what you're aiming for. And open it. And you have this gatefold here. And so that's what you do. Now, let me go real quick. This is what I have. This is a inside cover. There might be, I might add a pocket here, a triangle pocket. This is the first page. This is a flip out, first flip out. Page with a pocket. This is a up and down flip out. I'm going to add something here to close this. Maybe some buttons or a little band or something, a tag. There's a side flip out. See, I use the same paper here on the sides. This is a side pocket and a belly band. A page, blank, not blank, but a green page where there's nothing on it. This is a gatefold, and I use this paper on both sides, and the music paper. And, solid paper, another page, and this one that I need to do is, this is a it's a gatefold and an up and down flip, of four flips. I've already covered these. I use the, whatchamacall those? The journaling cards, the 4x6 ones. Trim them down to size so they would fit there. And like you see, this one coordinates with the one on the top. Let me zoom out a little bit. What's going on here? Oh, the camera stops working, the controls. So yeah, this one coordinates with the one on the top. And this one coordinates with this one. And then the other one would just be like a regular gatefold. And I have a page here to cover and the back cover. The back inside cover. That's what I would need to do. I'm going to see where I can make a, and leave you at that. Make a, this one here would be nice for a cascade. Cascade. So I'm going to use 4x6 journaling cards. And this measures, ouch. So I need to pick cards that I can trim on both sides. This measures 5 1/4. No, I need to measure the paper, the mat, not the page. The page is 5 inches. So I would like to leave a 1/4 inch on each side. So if it measures 5 inches, 4 1/2. Okay, and this is 4 by 6. Nope, it's 6 this way. Okay. Duh. So I need to cut this at 4.5. So I need to find cards like this one. If I cut this at 4.5, which would be right there, I would cut into the words. I can't cut here because I'll cut into Santa. So that's what I'm looking for. Pages that I can cut, trim, without losing the design. Like this one works. I can cut on either side of that. And I'll probably need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna cut 4. This one probably works. I like this tree here. Cut that. Oh, I like this one. I think 4 would do, but I'm gonna cut 5 this. That way I don't have to. Let's see if that one works. So when you, that's one way to make a waterfall with the journaling cards. They have the other cards that are 3 by 5. So I said I want this at 4.5 because I want a 1/4 inch on each side. And this measures 6. Which would be 2 1/4 on each side. I'm using the Tim Holtz centering ruler, and according to this, I need 4.5, right? So it's 2 1/4 on each side, so I have to take off 3/4 on each side. Let's see if that's right. 3/4 on each side. Let's see if that works. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. I forgot to mention that you have to, on the top, you have to score it. So that's how you're going to attach it. So 3/4 is perfect. On each side you take out 3/4, and it leaves you with a 1/4 inch on each side. So we'll go ahead and do that. If my thing had pause, I would pause here. But that's what makes the video so long, when you have to do the same thing over and over, when you could pause while you do it. Don't understand why this camera doesn't have pause. 3/4, and I'm going to do this waterfall. That's what it's called. I kept saying cascade, which is probably the same thing, but they call it a waterfall. So these can be used as a decoration or to put pictures. If there's for picture, you could cover, most, it doesn't matter using it as a mat, but you can use, some people use, paper, colored paper. So that you don't, cover this. These will go into my scrap box. And let me do, for the first one I'm going to do is one that has space up here so that you're not messing with the design. Maybe this one. Christmas is being with you. That's cute. So let me get the scoreboard. And my bone folder. Just gonna lay this right on top. So you can do a ½ inch would be too much. I wonder if a ¼ inch would work. I think the norm is about ½ inch. I'll do 3/4. 3/4. Not 3/4. I said I was going to do less than ½ inch. 1/8 less than ½ inch. That's what I'm doing. I'm scoring on the wrong side of the paper. And this little girl. This one says a warm heart. So it's 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. That's what I'm doing. So that I don't take too much out of the pictures. Well, you're just gonna fold this, and this one is cute, huh? I like this one. I think I'm gonna use that one. And here I'm going to use a tree. I still don't know if I need. So I'm going to use this little pattern and the little mittens, which will be the first one. We'll see if we need to use all of them. So T. I'm going to use 1/4 inch tape. And I'm going to attach it on the on the top edge of the fold. Like that. There are books like I believe, 8x8 books. You can use these as they are. You don't have to trim them, which is nice. If I don't need this, I can use it somewhere else as an extra flap or something. a little flap. Let me put this tape here so I don't lose it. Burnish tape makes it easier to come off, plus you make sure that it's adhering well. And I did find that, let me see if it's here. Yeah, here it is. I was using the crooked one because I couldn't find it. I'm going to bend this up and peel the tape. A little piece came off, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And I'm going to have this right there. And you have to make sure it's straight. So there's the first one. That one goes up, see? That's your top one. Now, the next one, you have to put it butt it right up to the end of that fold, that little flap. See, in case you haven't done a waterfall before. See, this folds down, right? And just that little flap where I put the tape. So you butt it right up. You fold it, keep it folded. Butt it right up to that flap. Right there. I remember first one I made, I couldn't understand how they were attaching it, the distance between each. Like I said, most people use half an inch, but 3/8 of an inch is working fine. It's enough to adhere it to the paper. So you have to make sure that it's right before I pressed it. See, this here, something went wrong on this one. Looks like the fold wasn't, see, that's crooked. See that? It has to do with the score probably went off the line. The score isn't straight. So I'm going to try to pull it off. Maybe it's this flap. This flap looks okay. I don't know what the problem is. I think it's this one is wider here. Yep. So I'm just going to have to take a ruler and mark the correct distance between the fold. This ruler has a little see, it's wider on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the ruler on the top. One of the lines on the fold. And I'm trying to see the fold. Or the score line, that's what I mean. There it is. I'm going to make a line. I'm using these lines. And see how off that is? Now I'm going to place this on that line and see if it comes out straight. I'm not gonna push it in too much. See, that's a lot better. A little bit up here. A little bit to the top there. There it is. So, I fixed that. See, now it looks, it has the same distance here. The same space between one another. But I had to put it up here a little bit. Overlap it. Now, let's hope the others are okay. Let's see. Before I attach it, I'm going to close this. That looks okay. So, a lot of problems you'll run into you can fix. You just, you just have to have patience, and that looks good. I think I'm going to be able to fit a lot more here, but maybe I'll just, I don't know, you don't have to fill the whole thing. We'll see. And then this one, it's okay. So you can journal or attach pictures. That looks good. So off camera, I'm going to finish putting the papers on those last pages, and then maybe I'll do another video where I decorate the front and the spine and start decorating the papers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do 2 more. So I'll be adding 2 more. Sorry about that. So that's where the waterfall is. Open this flap. So then I'll add 2 more so that it goes in, a little bit further down. I'll add 2 or 3 more. And that would be the waterfall, and then I'll make a closure here. So I'll see you then, and I'll be back when I'm ready to decorate the front cover and the spine. Bye guys, have a nice week if I don't see you before. Look at this, I'm almost an hour in. Bye.